Alright, ZentroVerted Gamer here, getting in a little recruiting before the Oklahoma game. Remember I was saying in the previous vid, I left those 2 days open for practice against Oklahoma. So I won't be setting any scouting visits or home visits during those 2 days, so that all my coaches are at the practices, so we get our best version of ourselves versus Oklahoma. I'm really digging this Benjamin brand, and we're taking quite the lead on everybody else. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put him ahead of James. I'm thinking I'm gonna Crawl, Hurd, and Brand. I mean, a 5-star junior college is cool, but he ain't gonna be better than a 7-footer. Even if he is just a 3-star, I feel like definitely some 3-stars are better than 5-star junior colleges players. So, and like I was saying in the previous video, Brand is definitely a 5-star disguised as a 3-star. So we gonna put him as 3. Those are my top 3 targets. We got 3 scholarships. We already offered Crawl and Hurd. I'm gonna wait a little bit to offer Brand, but he's looking like he wants to come to Memphis anyway. He's from Tennessee. I could probably wait a little bit to offer him a scholarship just in case something else pops up. I don't want to go too early, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna get that last one. So right now, since I pretty much got my senior class targeted, I'm now going through the junior class and seeing what they got, seeing if there's anybody worth recruiting, or if I'm just gonna skip it and roll my scholarships over to a better class. Like sometimes the sophomore classes or freshman classes, or if you're doing the senior classes, the junior classes might be better or deeper, and you just decide to recruit less or not recruit at all. Roll those scholarships over and just have more scholarships to work with. That entices recruits too. Like, the more roster space you have opening up, the more interest that you'll garner from recruits that you might not have got interest from if you had a full roster. So if you got 5-6 scholarships available, there's gonna be a lot more top tier recruits wanting to come to your school because they know they're gonna get playing time. Yeah, Benjamin Brand is already at 90%. That's without even offering a scholarship yet. So he's definitely tracking to come to Memphis. I move Woods as my top junior target, 5-star shooting guard out of Chicago, Illinois. I have this general recruiting area that I want to focus on. Obviously, Tennessee is the main focus, keeping homegrown players home. And then there's a general area you want to try to establish around your school state before you start branching out into the far places like California, New York. New York is my actual goal. I think that's where John Calipari direction he would have went. He definitely would have recruited across the entire country, but if we're talking about like Pacific places to go recruiting, I think New York would have been the direction he would have went, because there's a lot of good players coming out of New York, just like California, and it's a little bit closer. New York is a lot closer to Tennessee than California is, so it would be a lot easier to get the recruits from New York to come to Memphis than it would to get California recruits to come to Memphis. So I felt like he would have went that direction after locking down the Midwest, Indiana, Ohio, Chicago, or Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, some of the other states below Tennessee. But we'll get into that in some other videos. We'll take a look at the recruiting map, and I'll kind of show that zone I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm thinking these guys, my top threes are definitely coming here. I don't think I'm gonna lose Crawl to FSU. They still haven't offered him yet. But we gonna do our due diligence. I'm gonna make sure I keep phoning, make sure I keep emailing, and we gonna make sure we set our home visits and our scouting visits in the right spots to keep his interest bar high. 6'9", 222 as a sophomore. That guy's gonna be good. I'm gonna add him, but we kind of low on this list, but he's just a sophomore, so we got time to make up ground. So now that I got my junior set, now I'm venturing into the the sophomore class. Now you don't necessarily add them to my list unless I see something special, but I'll at least just get the coaching staff's name out there in the class. Show some interest to some recruits. The earlier you show interest, the faster their interest bar rises, obviously. But you start recruiting a recruit when they're a freshman, and then feeling wanted pops up on one of their priorities lists, then you get a significant boost from their interest, like right off the bat. So as soon as their priority is unlocked, you get a boost if you've been recruiting them since they freshman or sophomore year. The earlier you've been recruiting them, the better. Vice versa, if playing at home is a priority and they home state, as soon as that's unveiled, you get a boost. And you might have already had a significant lead because that was a reason, but they just hadn't revealed it yet. So as you go through scouting, not only do you get stats about recruits, you also get their priority list unveiled, which they usually have about 3 priorities, and then they have one thing that they don't care about, and that changes depending on recruits, obviously. Another cool thing about recruiting in this game. This sophomore class is looking pretty deep. I might have to skip the junior class. And you're gonna see. It's a lot of 4 stars, but a lot of these guys are gonna change to 5 stars. And a lot of the 4 stars are changed to 5 stars. A lot of the 4 stars will change to revert to 3 stars. And some 3 stars will become 4 and 5 stars. So you got that too. Like I think Goff, 6'9", I think he's gonna definitely become a 5 star. But bigs tend to revert sometimes, which is not always a bad thing. Like sometimes 3 stars with high potential are just as good as a 5 star with low potential. So him being a 3 star could just mean he has a really high ceiling and just hasn't tapped it yet. All right, so we ready to take on Oklahoma. See you guys in the next vid.